I can only imagine. I just saw earlier today the 2018 movie called I Can Only Imagine. It stars a guy that is very close to looking like the original band member, and it is about a Christian rock band named Mercy Me, and it is about the main character's or main member of the group's personal life story. It doesn't go into biography mode. It doesn't go into boring life details mode. Um, People that might be outside the religious viewing movie circle might not care that somebody has some struggles and somebody grew up with a hard childhood, and I can understand that, but this is one of the most better done movies in a while that I've seen. Like the acting by Dennis Quaid, just tremendous. The main character's grip with reality and struggle and ways of reacting to situations, they were appropriate, but you also could tell that he was going through a lot of other things, and he kind of combined some personal strife with his physical kind of stress limits, and just everything got really well done. I really appreciated it. So, like I said, this movie goes off of a hit song that this band Mercy Me, that's in the Christian rock world universe, wrote, and it kind of explains that Mercy Me was famous for this one song. um, it takes a long time to get to that point. It's very much about this main band member's life struggle, and it's sort of about Mercy Me and how they became to be and their struggles of trying to hit stardom. And even though Christian people aren't supposed to call it stardom, it's stardom. It's being famous, It's making it, whatever you want to call it. Um, I want to say the right things about this because I'm a man of God. I work at a church and I like these movies. I go and see them. But it's a movie. There's some hard things about this. Number one is the manager. He's very cold and without personality, and he says the right things, but he doesn't deliver them with any emotion. And for a religious movie, we kind of expect that. So I just didn't really care for his acting, I guess. Um, the band members were fine and funny and added some kind of lightness to this serious movie. But I'm kind of wondering why they never ask why it's all about him. Like they're just seriously instrumentalists, and I figure they would at some point kind of wonder why everything's about him, why he's the only one who gets to talk to people. We get that in a lot of other music movies, especially one of my kind of more well done movies that has been done, which is um, from Compton, whatever that's called. Um, Really, it just needed to address the situation of how he was the focal point of the group. And this movie's about him back then in real life because this is about their real situation as a band. It seems like everything goes through him, everything is talked about from him. He's the only one who gets to find out things, and he writes the songs. And so I don't know. I just was kind of missing that. The other thing that I just want to say is that we get a lot of movies about personal struggle, child abuse, drunkenness, loss of hobby that kind of gets our life meaning. It's tough, you know, and you have to handle it a certain way in a movie. This one just had the luxury that it's a true story, and they really just laid it out how it happened, and that's fine. But there's a couple times where it's like they did a flashback to a really touchy part, and we were like, we don't really need that. And there's a couple times where Dennis Quaid was giving something to do that was kind of violent, and I don't know. Like right after that, he switched, and something in his mind said, "Oh, I should actually be changing from this person I used to be." And don't get me wrong, I'm all about forgiving people and thinking the best about them and thinking that they are capable of anything that they want to be. Okay, but this movie says that as soon as somebody gets sick or as soon as somebody moves away, like there's triggers as a family who hates each other that can cause the parent to just switch and start caring about their kid. And sometimes it's tough love. We've had those kind of stories in movies before. Sometimes it's a change of lifestyle. This one doesn't really clearly state, other than the fact that he was getting older and he was becoming sick, that he was able to think that there's anything else other than that. It's I don't understand how that process goes because I was raised in a Christian home, but I also had my own struggles. But I don't know anybody who just suddenly changed from their old lifestyle for 50 years, and then all of a sudden thought they were wrong. I just haven't experienced that in my personal life, and it's hard to understand in a movie. So other than that, the music was great. Like I said, Dennis Quaid is wow. I kind of at first was hoping that somebody else would be put in that role because it was a really tough role to play. He had a lot of anxiety and anger build up, and the ways he had to lash out, that anybody could have really played it. He was just an angry, drunk father. But Quaid did a really good job with it, and I think as the movie progressed, it got explained why he got put in that role. So I really appreciate this movie. I hope everybody gets a chance to watch it. If you don't know anything about the band MercyMe, you don't need to look them up. You don't need to know anything about them. Just go see this because it's really amazing and it explains it at the end who they are and what they've done and their accomplishments. I will just say that they have had their first album go triple platinum, and that's just something that validates everything. Why you should see this movie. I went to it a week and a half or so after it opened, and it was sold out. My theater was sold out. So really try and go see this, guys. This is going to be an A for me. I love it. I love Christian movies like this. We have another one coming up called God's Not Dead. That'd be the third one of that series. Hollywood and movie studios across the world are realizing that people of religious backgrounds are going to go see movies if you pump them out. And there's a lot out right now. There's one called Paul the Disciple, but I don't think they're going to base that much on the Bible, so I'm not really excited about that. But a lot of these movies are really good, and I can only imagine is one of the best that I have seen come out. And it's so real and raw and tells the story, and it's just very interesting. So even though there's some things wrong with it as a movie, it's still an A. It's not an A plus, it's not an A minus. It's just an A. It's just right there, it's just sitting there, and it's perfect how it needs to be. And you're going to be amazed at the ending, and you're going to be amazed with how this happens. It's a little obvious of an ending, but it's fine. And so I just really appreciate it for what it is. So try and go see I Can Only Imagine, everybody. My name is Danny. If you like this or any of my other reviews, please try and watch them. And like and subscribe to my channel. That's all for me. Enjoy movies, guys. Thanks.